Got daily video for the week beginning the 9th of June 2025. These weeks are going by so quickly now, it's quite scary. We've had some developments going on in the world where we've had a call between Trump and Xi. So we're going to possibly go risk on from that because it's going to ease tensions and stuff. So there is stuff going on in the world, of course, we can't like disregard, but one of the main fear narrative was the tariffs and escalation, and it looks like it's sort of subsiding, which is good for risk appetite. And because of that, I think probably things like gold, we probably may have topped out. But the thing with gold is that we have actually increased a little bit on the COT data. But that being said, this is from Tuesday, and I think that telephone call between the presidents of the United States and China that happened after Tuesday. So what we'll see next week, we'll see a true reflection on the gold contracts. Okay, so the euro has ticked higher, which makes sense. That's fine. 82,000 from 74,000, and the dollar is still sideways. I was wondering whether or not we're going to go negative, but we're not. We're just going to go sideways. So very tricky on that one. In fact, what we'll do, and we'll get to gold when we get there. That's fine. We'll just get there. We'll go in alphabetical order. Yeah, and we've had another breather, but like I said last week and the last few weeks, it is still mega strong because we've come off that low, and it's one of the biggest moves that we'll probably ever see as traders. A complete U-turn where they're really bearish and they went super bullish, and it's just a little breather off on that. I suppose in a way, if you were to measure the midpoint between that low and that high, we're still above that midpoint, so we're bullish. If we break below that 50%, then we'd be in the negative territory, and then down we come. Okay, so we're still on the top half of that move, on that historical massive move that we saw. Okay, Euro off, Aussie on, probably just choppy still. This may, this should have a little bit more clarity. If we have those trade discussions and they go well, then the Australian dollar is going to get out of this chop, and we're going to possibly rally from that. But we are currently consolidated and trapped in this little price range, and you could also argue between this price range as well. So we're just pretty much just ranging on that. But if we break that high, then we've still got that one to contend with. But we could possibly break that high, then come up to it, and it'll put the Australian dollar into positive territory. Okay, Aussie off, pound on. Pound just went sideways, which doesn't really help much. It's possibly looking at the euro for clues, especially with the trade. Wow, we just went really sideways. 35,300, 35,200. So there's a tiny difference in the contracts, okay, but just sideways on the pound. CAD, let's see. All right, okay, so that's fair enough because we're negative and we're more negative than the week prior. Okay, so that's of note. 103 minus to 108. So 5,000 bearish contracts were added to the market from the net non-com. So these are the banks and institutions. So they're not particularly interested in CAD right now because it's already negative and it's more negative than the week before. Okay, gold. Now we'll see. See, gold's ticked higher, but I think what may happen is that this may just be like a dead cat bounce where we could argue we're trending now, and this is just like a little leg for the next move, maybe. You could probably argue we had like a head and shoulders pattern. We had another retest of the all-time high, and down we come. And it's possible that this is just going to be like a dead cat bounce where it's just been, we just retraced a little bit, and then we may do that, and then perhaps another retracement, and then it might fall a little bit. But do note that we're still above the zero, and so like the yen, it's still strong, but this may be setting up for like a sell-off that we had actually. We had it quite strong on Friday, whether or not it will continue. We are very much oversold, worth noting, on the H4 and the H1, the 15-minute and the 5-minute and the 1 minute. I was looking at gold as we closed, and we really kind of sold off quite heavy. So we may see like a relief bounce and then the proper selling in London, New York. So, but we'll have to wait and see. You know, we'll have to. There's no way to know what's going to happen until it happens, and we can use the retail sentiment, obviously from the sheet. That helps, and we'll just have to see what happens. Is this possibly a move that we're going to see, and it's going to see a continuation? It looks like we're possibly going to start zigzagging. Can you see? Well, we'll have to wait and see. And we've got that low, and we've got that low for support. So still fairly bullish. We break these two, and you know, we could start getting heavy. New Zealand dollar. Well, you could look at the peso, but no one trades it, and we could also look at the ruble, but likewise, doesn't anyone trades that either. We're just sideways in the New Zealand dollar. It's just a bit silly, isn't it? We've just been sideways for the longest time, and the same with the Swiss franc. And we're going to be sideways. So, as for QuasiDB, I'm developing a scalper bot that's using a thing called the parabolic SAR breakout, and it uses moving averages. And I've been testing and doing lots of back tests in the last 6 months, and whatever test I throw at it, it's profitable, which is like quite amazing. So obviously a little bit wary about back testing because it's not going to be perfect. So I'm going to do some forward testing with those settings, and actually made 10% on the back testing in 6 months. So that's really, really good. So in theory, over the course of a year, it's going to generate 20% return, which is phenomenal. It's going to be absolutely amazing. So because I'm going to be focusing on the scalper bot, I'm going to put the volume delta testing to one side. It's still viable, it's still going to be valuable, but I just want to focus on something that I can back test and, you know, forward test. And the technicals are going to be a good way to generate income, because with the sentiment you've got like the capricious nature of the herd. They can be shepherded into one way of thinking, and then we get the rug pull, and then they get trapped. But sometimes we've got to be really, really careful if we're in that trap, where with the technical, we're just trading the technicals, which is the outcome. It's basically the inevitable outcome from everything, from fundamental analysis to sentiment. The technicals is the way, it's basically the proof of the pudding. So if we get a breakout, it might be from fundamental, it could be from sentiment, but we'll have the breakout from the technical, if that makes sense. So we're still obviously still going to heavily rely on the sentiment, but as for testing for perhaps the 2.0, but we're going to just sort of park the sentiment a little bit, and we're going to focus more on technical. And then once we get a really good technical system, then we can add a little bit of sentiment to it, and that will make it an absolute killer system as well. So I did upload something to YouTube, so if you want to see how it looks on a mobile, that's like the breakout system that you can see. So we'll have to wait and see how we go. So this week we're doing lots of testing, and so I may go a little bit quiet because it's just going to be doing lots of back testing. It takes 2 hours per test, so I'll dip it in and out of Discord when I can, but I think it'll be testing heavy, and then it'll probably be going semi-live in a couple of weeks with the breakout system that I'm developing. So that's it. So remember to trade safely. Oh, and also before I forget, is that Kristen's done some cool data for us. He's made this new graphic. So when you get access to this particular sheet, you can have a look at this at your leisure. And the idea is that we're going to be above or below the average 13-week average, and that should give us a bias. Okay, so you can look at this at your leisure, and I wish you a good Sunday, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Morning, guys. So I'm not sure if you are aware, but we have a ability for you to join for free at QuasiDB, and you can unlock Discord in its entirety and all those channels and the bank forecasts and our community, trade setups, the robots, and you can also have me as well for support if you need. and also the spreadsheet as well. And the spreadsheet is enormous and it's really, really powerful. And it's even got a thing where it's got predictive sentiment in the spreadsheet now. So it can predict the future, pending that the crowd hold, of course. They may not hold. If they flip-flop, it's not ideal. But if they hold, then we can predict what they're going to do, which is really cool because we have a thing called the future bubbles. So if you were interested in unlocking all of that stuff, you create an account on IC Markets, and what you'll need to do is just simply click the link. It's campaign for 55485, and you'll come here, and it'll store a little cookie on your computer to say that you've used that URL, and then you just simply say, you fill in the information and you say, I'd like to join. Hi, I would like to join campaign. If I can spell it, 55485, and can you merge my live account with this campaign ID, if I can spell it. And then that's it. Then you'll fill in the information. Obviously it did ask for the name, but that's obvious, you will fill that in, and then you'll speak to the AI bot, and then you'll type that in, and then that will get the ball rolling. And so let me know once you've done this, once you've funded your account, and then I'll send you the sheet and give you Discord unlock. But I will need to see activity on that account. You can't just have live funds in there and not use it. Okay, so just a quick plug there for IC Markets, and it is without a doubt the best broker I've ever used. And you can see that is absolutely insane as well. 200,000 happy active clients, and the support is fantastic. I've never had any issues whatsoever with their support. The sign up is easy, and the withdrawals are easy as well, because it has PayPal and various schemes as well, credit card, debit card, Skrill, Apple Pay, and that's it. So it's an option, and all you're going to just simply do is just tell them that you want to join the campaign ID 55485, and whether or not you can merge my live account or your live account with this campaign ID, and then they'll say, yep, I'll put you through to a human, and then you may have to repeat that, and then they'll say, oh, can you email this address, and then you'll email that address, and then they'll have a record of your account officially wanting to merge with this campaign 55485. Okay, just a quick one there if you were interested in unlocking all the stuff that we provide for free. Okay.